Thank you, Mr Mayor. Not for the first time. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing, so I'm going to wing it. I'd like to propose an amendment to the resolution, and I presume that I propose it and speak on it in the same speech. Is that correct, Mr Mayor?
No, you are due to speak for 3 minutes. If you have a point then of order, which I will raise then with the Borough Solicitor, and then we'll move forward. But if you want to do your 3-minute speech now, I'd appreciate it.
Shall I propose? OK, I'll wing it. I propose that the matter be deferred back to the Culture and Environment Scrutiny Committee so that it can be reconsidered alongside the option of a code of conduct so everyone can have a say. And everyone includes residents, because the residents are entitled to the voice. They must have a voice, but that voice must be heard alongside the buskers, alongside the police, alongside the licensing officers. Why did this blow up at this stage? It's because very often a policy can land innocuously in a committee that doesn't consider fully the consequences, and suddenly, when it gets close to landing on the floor, you can realise the problems there can be, and therefore it must be referred back, because it seemed like a good idea at the time, and now it does not seem like a good idea. We have heard that buskers range from professional musicians to the underdog. One of those underdog couples lives in my ward in the England's Lane hostel with a father and mother and a young child, where the busking beefs up their meagre income. It absolutely pains me to think that this council, with all our collective desire to help the underdog, and put it in my tombstone, Councillor Bucknell had a desire to help the underdog, should introduce heavy-handed legislation using a sledgehammer to crack a nut, which may undermine the underdog. We have been misinformed. We have been told that the existing legislation does not work, but at the last licensing meeting we were also told that the situation had been brought under control, but there was some confusion, and what we need is a code of conduct to iron out that confusion. 2 last words on this. A very important point raised by Jonny Walker. Brilliant. Once you have lost your freedoms, it's incredibly difficult to get them back. Once we lose the freedom to busk in Camden with its heavy-handed legislation, and Camden attracts a reputation as a heavy-handed borough, it's going to be incredibly difficult to get it back. And to finish on a cliché, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it busk. And the danger is that we become elitist, that professional musician gets the licence, we have the 1974 Act, which we can fall back to, and the poor underdog scratching a living just withers away into the darkness. So I hope you will support my resolution that protects the underdog, protects the residents, and protects freedom in this borough.